Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Debbie or Cakes, and today is my 100 sub celebration part 1. So today we are going to be doing a tutorial of this look that I found off of Pinterest. This is sadly the finished look. We're also going to be doing kind of a semi-informal shop my stash to get here, and if you are interested in that, please stay tuned. Now for this shop my stash, I will be going based off of this question my friend Mishi asked me. Mishi asked, I'm not sure if anyone has asked this before, but what are your go-to makeup brands / products? Things you simply cannot go without. So with that in mind, I am going to choose the items for the look that I'm going to do today, and I'll be doing kind of a tutorial for you guys. So firstly for primer, what I always reach for, sadly, is my e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. Not only because I actually really like it, but I'm also trying to use it up so I don't have to keep it on hand anymore. e.l.f. doesn't sell it anymore, but another go-to that I definitely could not live without is this No Problem Primer from Touch in Sol. It is a silicone-based primer. It is very smoothing. I don't like to say the word pore filling because nothing can technically fill your pores besides like dirt, but it definitely smooths everything, and it just, it makes my base look flawless. And then for highlighter, I do have lots of highlighter, but if I had to say my go-to product as of late would definitely be this one. My Handbook for the Recently Deceased, the collab between Beetlejuice and Makeup Revolution. I don't think that they sell it anymore, but I have just been really drawn to these shades right now, and I typically go for more color. I am a very big fan of pink highlighter, but I've just really been drawn to these, and I think they're beautiful and they apply well. So this is definitely a go-to right now. Now for blush, I've actually been cycling between a couple different ones. I've been really drawn to this new e.l.f. one, but because it's new, I do not consider it a go-to. I actually just consider this my go-to. This is from a really old BH Cosmetics palette. It was their Blushed Neutrals palette, and I still love it to this day. So definitely this one. But then something that's actually available would be this Senpai blush by YVA Expressions. They are a black-owned anime-inspired makeup brand, and I will always sing their praises because look at this. Because look at this. The shades are absolutely beautiful on my skin tone. So I say definitely pick it up. It is a go-to for sure. Now, moving over to my foundation, I actually did just get a new one. If anyone would like a review of it, it is not like brand new by any means anymore, but it is the Makeup Revolution IRL filter in the shade F14. They didn't have F15 in the store, but I definitely would have bought F15 instead, but this is still a pretty good shade for me. But my absolute go-to is this bad boy right here. This Joa Beauty Perfect Complexion BB Cream. This is the deepest shade Mocha, which sucks because, yeah, it's not that deep. But this is just really good, especially if it's a hot day and I still want to put on makeup, but I want to put on something light. This is really good. It's sold through CVS because I don't think they have it on their website anymore. But if you shop on CVS.com or in the app, you should be able to still get this. And then another go-to, definitely for my brows, is also from Joa Beauty. It is the Brow Down to Me Super Hold Brow Setter. I love this. I love this. My brows are, yeah, they do not move when I use this, and I really, really like it. But when it comes to actually drawing my eyebrows on, this is my holy grail. The Maybelline Lasting Drama Gel Liner. This is just black eyeliner, and it is everything. I definitely need to get a new pot, but this is pretty much what I used for years to draw my brows on. And I will continue to do so. Now for bronzer, I only have a couple, and this is my go-to. This is the e.l.f. I actually think, I can't remember if this is bronzer or contour, it doesn't matter, but it is in the shade Turks and Caicos. They do not sell these anymore. This was the second one that I had to find secondhand, and I don't think I'll be able to find it again, which really sucks. As you can see, I have hit pan. I usually don't use the highlighting side. I only use the bronze and contour side. But this is my go-to, and I do need to find a new one because once this is out, I don't know if I have the will to like find it again. But that is my current go-to. For mascara, so I only have 5 mascaras, but my go-to is actually 2 of them. It's definitely the Maybelline Falsies Flared. It's so good. It's affordable. And then also this Almay Volume and Conditioning Mascara. I don't know if they still sell this one, but I actually would pick it up again because I do really like how it makes my lashes look. Now, my go-to concealer, I have a lot of concealer, you guys. And I typically swap out between a few of them. But I think my go-to right now, and it's still available, but definitely these from Maybelline. So these are the Maybelline Fit Me. So this darker one is in the shade 50 Cafe, and then this lighter one is in the shade 20 Sand. These are my go-tos. They just make my under eye look really good, and it blends in really well with whatever foundation that I use. So this is a definite go-to, and it's drugstore. It's more on the affordable side, and so that's why I still really like these. Alright. So now we are actually going to move on to eyeshadow primer. So I do have this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I'm going to be honest, I don't really like it that much. I don't think I would get it again. It was part of a set that I bought, and that's the only reason why I even have it. Another one that I use as eyeshadow primer is actually the Bare White Pro Conceal from LA Girl. I feel like they've definitely changed their formula in the past couple years, and it's not as thick as it used to be, and I don't know if I like that or not. This is my favorite. This is hands down my go-to. It is the Makeup Revolution Super Base. It is a little bit watery. It is a bit on the thicker side, but it blends out really well, and I do think that it makes my eyeshadow look great. But my 2 other ones are the Kaleidos Makeup Tone Activator Eye Primer. It's still pretty good. I still use it from time to time. And then I have one of the Colourpop cream shadows in the shade Bronco. You can definitely see that there's been some usage. It's a bit on the drier side because it is a cream, but it's still pretty good. I don't think that they sell their cream shadows anymore, sadly, but I'm still going to use it up. And so when it's done, I can actually probably use this pot for maybe something else. And now on to eyeshadow. I'm actually going to put up on the screen the look that I'm going for, and then we will try to figure out some palettes that will work for it really quick. Okay, so the second I saw this look, I knew exactly which palette I kind of wanted to use. And that would be, surprisingly, the Chucky palette. I think some of the dark tones are definitely going to be in this palette, so we're going to use that. And then for that light shade of pink, I think I might be able to find one possibly in the Planet Spirit palette, so we are going to check that in a second once we get started. And then the last palette I want to check for that pink No, those are more purple. There's Pastel Goth palette, which is also by YVA Expressions. Look at that cover art. Oh, yes. Let's use this. Thank you for taking a look at my stash, and now we are going to move on to the tutorial portion. Okay, so firstly, I do have a pimple patch on. I will not be taking it off. I'm just going to apply my makeup around it. Applying makeup to the pimple right now would just not be a good idea. It's just going to refill. And then I also did grab a couple little other things that I didn't show in my shop with me. I have a whole section dedicated to graphic liner, which is different from where I keep my regular liner. And so I did pull a red from Glavisi Cosmetics, and then I also pulled this shimmer from e.l.f. It's okay. I don't know if I would consider it a dupe for the Stila glitters, because this, I can only use just a little bit before it starts to pull away at the makeup underneath. We are going to be putting lashes on, so I did grab my lash book that I'll show you later. And then I do have a go-to lip product. My regular lip liner go-to is just this basic brown lip liner. It's definitely nothing special, but it's my favorite, and I still need to find a new one. And then I've really been loving the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. As you can see, I've made some damage, so I really like that. And I am going to pair it up with one of my 3CE Velvet Lip Tints. And we'll see how I like that. And then I want to go over the palettes that I pulled. I did pull another one. This is a K-Beauty palette from the brand Romand. And I really only pulled it for the shimmers, in particular this white shimmer right here. I also grabbed my Planet Spirit palette because of the pinks. I'm not going to be using this palette, but it is super pretty. It is collab with the YouTuber Batty Bean. No, there's nothing in here that I think suits the look that we're going for. Now, Pastel Goth, I showed you before, but yeah, between these two pinks, either one I'm going to end up using today. And then it does have a black, but I don't want to use the black from this palette. And then lastly, the Chucky palette, which was probably the best pick out of all of these right now. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be using some of these shades in here. But first, let's do a quick base before we hop into it. I'm gonna bring you guys in. So first, e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Primer. It also has a sticky quality like the e.l.f. Power Grip, but it's more cooling than the e.l.f. Power Grip. I do have the e.l.f. Power Grip that I plan on using up after I'm done with this one. I like it just fine. I just don't know if I will be repurchasing it. Okay, sometimes I do double up on primer. It just kind of depends on what mood I'm in. And so next I will be doing my foundation, Joa Beauty Perfect Complexion BB Cream, and I will be applying it with my spatula today. Got my little palette, and then I've got my spatula. And I want to use my spatula today because this is running low, I can tell. And so I don't want to use as much as I usually do. It's a pretty good shade match. But oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I hit the 100 sub mark. I didn't think anyone would, you know, like be interested in the videos that I've been making, and I appreciate you guys so much. And while I do my makeup, I'm gonna do not necessarily a Q&A, but just I guess kind of talk. So, my name is Debbie. I am 28. I have been in a relationship with my partner for this year will make 7 years. Damn. I've been very, very blessed to have someone who loves me very much, and I love them as well. And you guys have met my cat Bartok. He is my absolute world. I don't know where I would be without him. I've never had this close of a relationship to a cat, or like had a cat become this close to me. And so it's a humbling experience when you realize that an animal is really attached to you and they come to you for comfort just as much as you go to them for comfort. And it really means a lot to me, and I love that chunky boy. I do reside in Georgia for now, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I feel like we all are on this journey, and sometimes things work out and sometimes things don't work out, you know? Sadly, some things that I was very excited for, things that I had planned, just did not work out for me, and so I am still coming to terms with that and trying not to feel like a failure. But anywho, that's just like the basic breakdown. If you were to read a bio on me, that's pretty much all it would say. I do have a degree. It's a really nice paperweight. I do speak 3 languages, but I'm very rusty in the other 2. They are French and Korean. I have been blessed with doing multiple study abroads, so I did get to, you know, travel the world when I was in college, and that was amazing. That was amazing. Definitely some of the best times that I've ever had. And, you know, I like to create things with my hands. I'm a very hands-on person. It's kind of crazy. Like, for instance, I have too many hobbies. I finally got into crocheting after I've always wanted to do it, and people were just like, girl, you should. And so I started crocheting. Here's a little cake. I love putting things together. So this is kind of like, not Legos, but basically, this is Cinnamon Roll from Sanrio and Friends. And another really big hobby that I have right now is building these little sets. Putting them together. It has been a very therapeutic thing that I do now. If anyone is interested in a video of me building one of my bigger kits, I can do that. I have built 7 of these small ones, and I am currently working on an 8th one. I love collecting things. If you've ever seen an episode of my collection catalog, then you know I'm just very big on collecting things. Games. I collect some steelbooks of movies, but not so much anymore. I have a very big manga collection with my partner, and yeah, we're really big on collecting things. I love collecting mugs. I love going to conventions. I used to cosplay, and I really might get back into that, but I also don't want to take on too many hobbies because I already took on too many hobbies. I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 20 Sand. This is actually kind of empty. I may have to declutter this because it's a bit on the empty side. And then I'm going to go in with that same brush I used for my foundation. I feel like this Fit Me does blend in really well, but sometimes when I like a very big contrast, it's not my go-to because it blends in too much. And then I don't want to go up too high with my concealer because I have really bad eye bags, and all of that concealer is just going to sink right into it. Yeah, as you can see, everything blended in a little too well. So I'm actually going to do some contrasting with the other Maybelline in 20 Sand. Now this one I would never use as a standalone. I typically like to layer or kind of play with my concealers, which is why I have multiple shades. So just a little bit right here. See, just right there. There we go. I kind of just want it to be just a tiny light right at my inner corner. And even in person, you can see it, but not too much. And that's pretty much it when it comes to my base. We are going to contour bronze with my little e.l.f. duo. I'm really not that good when it comes to contouring and bronzing, but we'll try. In person, you can definitely see it. So that's kind of what we're working with. I usually don't go on my jaw, and I kind of don't feel like it this time around. But I'm going to dip back into that with a smaller brush to kind of contour and carve out my nose. I'm going to use a small brush. And I like to start from my brow now. And kind of go underneath my brow. Blend that out really well before I go down my nose. I may have overdone it just a little bit. But we are going to move on. This is what I'm looking like. I wish that my lighting was just a little better. Now we are going to move on to the blush. And because my eyeshadow is going to be kind of on the dark side, well, not even kind of, it really is. I think I'm going to dip into the BH Cosmetics blushes and go for this is my go-to, just this plum. This one works. Just something kind of dense, but it has a little bit of fluff. And I like to start up high and then work my way down. I used to just kind of cover from one side of my face to the other, but I don't really do that so much anymore. I also don't think I want to put on too much. So now I'm like, do they match? They kind of do. I'm just going to tap. And then what I think I'm actually going to do is also dip into this lighter one. Bring it down a little lower. And we are just going to move on to highlighter. I think because silver is a really big color in this look, none of these are just full on silver, so I'm gonna reach into this middle shade. Yeah, I don't know what formula they use, but I just think this is so good. I'm going to put a lot on the tip of my nose. I think it does blend in pretty well. Oh, not this side. This side looks a little bit better. I'm just gonna blend it in a little bit. And I still think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna put a little bit on my chin. A little bit right here before I do my brows. I think we chose a pretty good highlighter shade. I do like that. And now for my eyebrows. I will be drawing them on, which I haven't really done in a while, now that I think about it. I'm just going to use this e.l.f. pencils little spoolie. I did recently cut them, so there's that. They are never quite even enough for me, and then sometimes I end up cutting it a little too short. So I'm going to try and draw them on. I'm very rusty, so please keep that in mind. Already I went a little higher than I meant to. An eyebrow. It is not going to match. This one is not going to match. I'm going to quickly zoom through that so then we can move on. They don't match. Ugh. Heartbroken. Okay, this is as close to same that we're gonna get. I'm not gonna waste you guys' time. We are just going to move on. Am I giving villain yet? So we are actually gonna move on and powder, which is something I typically don't do. So I don't really have a go-to powder. I really only have two at this point. I've got my Laura Mercier in, I think, translucent. Yes. Laura Mercier in translucent, and then I've got my e.l.f. HD powder in soft luminance. Between the two, I don't know what really constitutes as a good powder. Like, if it gets the job done, great. I actually prefer pressed powder, and my one love, my Essence, I think it's like Banana Up pressed powder, shattered all over the floor, and I have yet to replace it. So if I had to go to, it would be that Essence powder that I will show you up here on somewhere like that. But between the two, I'm actually going to go for the soft luminance e.l.f. powder. And then I don't have a clean sponge right now, so we are going to have to use like a big brush. I'm going to tap on a few layers, hopefully to catch whatever fallout that is inevitably going to happen. And so now we are going to hop into the look, so let's get started. Okay, we are going to go right on in with my Makeup Revolution Super Base. And typically it's not a good idea to do one eye at a time. It's better to do them both at the same time. But for this, and because this creases my eyes really badly, and I take time to do one and then the second eye creases. So we're just going to do one eye, and then I will bring you back in when the second eye is finished. Or maybe it won't go like that at all. We'll see. Actually gonna use this brush. Gonna bring it to my inner corner and just lightly tap, because my brushes do absorb quite a bit of it. Okay, that should be good, and we're gonna hop in before my eye starts to crease. So the first color I'm actually gonna set down is some of that red versus the outer corner, which is black. So first we're gonna be reaching into the Chucky palette, and for that red, I think a shade I'm gonna go for is Till Death Do Us Part, which is this one right here. Oh, and my eye's starting to crease already, so just gonna go right down center. The shade is a bit deeper than the red that is on her eye though. Why didn't they put a blood red in here? Make it make sense. Bring it closer to my inner corner. There we go. I've kind of made the shape that I want. I just wish that this was a brighter red. Do I do. I know I do. I'm gonna quickly reach into this Cherry on Top palette. It's an old BH Cosmetics palette. I mean, it has a red. It's basically a red themed. I'm gonna use that same brush. I'm gonna dip into Tarte. See, that's the kind of red that I want. And I'm like, maybe if I put it on top. Actually, yeah, that is closer to the shade that I was trying to make. So I'm really happy about that. Now add a little more. Try to get as close to that inner corner as possible. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So now I'm actually going to reach into black, and this is the only brush that I have right now that's clean, that could probably give me the shape that I want. Now on her eyes, it is black, but it's also very buffed out, so it looks more gray. So what I'm going to try is I'm actually going to use this gray right here and this black. So I'm going to put down a little black, and I'm going to buff it out with the gray. And see how I like that. Oh, this brush is so thin. It'll take me forever if I use that brush. I'm actually going to use this bigger one that's also kind of curved. Tap, 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 tap. These shades are on the powdery side. There we go. I may have added a little bit too much black. I'm gonna go back to that thin, small brush and dip into the gray and see if I can buff it out a little bit. Oh, and the eye shape is wrong. Hers is angling up, and I've just brought mine down. I can clean that up with eyeliner and with concealer, so I'm not too worried about that. At least not yet. I am gonna reach into that gray a bit more. Just gonna bring you guys in a little bit closer. Now I'm gonna reach into that pink that's all over the inner corner, and I'm gonna use the lighter pink. I happen to have another clean brush. Trying to blend those in. I think I may have used... Oh, I brought it up a little too high, but I don't hate it. Okay, I am going to go ahead and get the second eye to this, and then we are going to fix it up. We're going to add our liner, and we're going to add our glitter. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. They are not perfect. They do not perfectly match, and I'm trying my hardest to be okay with that and not going back in like 500 times. But overall, I kind of feel like I did at least get down the gist of the look. I did clean up this with some concealer, and then I re-added blush. Same thing to this side. I'm probably going to add just a little bit more blush later on before we finish up the look. I'm going to go in with a little bit more black, just a little bit. I just need like a really small brush. This is actually a paintbrush, and we're just going to go with that. I just wanted to point the ends a little bit more, and all of my brushes that could do that, oh, this one's not that bad. All my brushes that could do that are still dirty, so can't really use those. Okay, that is all that I'm going to do. The pinks don't necessarily match up. But that's fine. Moving on, we are going to be dipping into my red paint pot. Well, it is kind of just bleeding into my eyeball just a little bit. So I'm going to use less water and wait for it to get a little bit on the tacky side. Yeah, I don't know how people do this. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm like, can anyone see this red? I'm trying. Can I add just, yeah, I wanted to add just a little more, just like make it stand out. But maybe I shouldn't have. And it's a little hard because of my eye bags. This is it up close. I might add some pink on top of it just to blend it back in a little more. Oh, that's way too much. Actually, on the photo at the very bottom, you can kind of see it wisping out all the way to the outer corner. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to clean it. I'm going to clean it up. I just wish my eye bags weren't so prominent. I'm going to have to bring it lower to match what I did on this eye on accident. Might as well. Okay, so I am going to put a little bit of black on the outer corner lower lash. Yeah, let's do that. And keep it as close as possible and kind of blend it into the red. Again on this side. I just wish that I didn't have these eye bags. They make it very hard to do looks sometimes. But I'm trying. There we go. Kind of go right underneath my eye bag as well. Okay, so I did do a little bit more to my lower lash than what she did, but that should be fine. Okay, so now I am going to try and add some of this e.l.f. glitter with another paintbrush. Actually, let's try this like small. Let's try this. Let's try that one. This e.l.f. Glitter is in the shade Disco Queen. This is what the doe foot looks like. I don't like the doe foot. I don't like the doe foot at all. But whatever. I'm just gonna try and swipe some off. And fingers crossed that it works. Because oh gosh, it's actually really difficult for me when it comes to my eye shape doing stuff like this. I don't think I brought it up high enough. It's a bit too low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that and I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. But then I think I'm going to go in with a shimmer and top it off. And I feel like the doe foot doesn't pick up a lot. I've barely used this. Yeah, the last time I used this was to a Last Dinosaurs concert, and then I like never used it again because it ate my eyeshadow. That's what happened. That's my fault. I shouldn't have used this. I'm just gonna dip the brush in here because nothing is coming out on this doe foot. One has the curve that I want and the other does not. Yeah, this is probably as good as it's going to get when it comes to this product. Even trying to layer up, it's just being really, really finicky and difficult. And it sucks because I love the color. It just, yeah, let's try something else. Last time I tried this Chucky palette, I was not impressed by the shimmers, like, at all. But we'll give it another chance, I guess. We're gonna dip into this shimmer. It's called Wanna Play. First, I'm gonna go with my finger. Because I want to try and go in the same places on the eye. It's not bad. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, so I've got some shimmer in my eye. I did lose some of that deeper red, so I'm gonna go back in to try and get some of that back. Especially right here. I really wish that shimmer wasn't so bad. It's fine, it's fine. I'm gonna put a little bit on my under eye. Blend it into that gray that I put down there. I'm like, maybe when I put on eyeliner it'll make this better, but I really don't think so. Oh, I still need to add shimmer to my under eye. You can't really see it though. Actually, let me... Maybe it's because of the powder that I put on earlier. There you go. You can actually kind of see it now. I know some people really hate it when you put shimmer on the bottom, but I really don't mind it. I just wish I didn't put so much red on. I kind of want to use brown to buff that out right here where my eye bag and that red meets. Might be onto something. I'm gonna try a different shimmer. Let's try from this Romand palette. I'm just gonna use this flat brush. Just gonna tap on top. Oh, okay, that gave me more. I think my shimmer was just too... I think I just put on too much. Okay, so we are going to add back in some more of that deep red. Yeah, I put way too much on this side at least. I think another thing I did was I made the silver curve. I just made the silver section too big and I lost some of the pink along the way. So we're gonna go back in. Gonna go in with that 2 red dots and then I'm gonna put on my eyeliner. I also wish I had the exact same red because I feel like hers is a bit deeper than mine, just like by a smidge. Now I'm gonna do eyeliner. Mine just looks like an over-exaggerated version of hers and I don't know how to feel about that. So my go-to eyeliner has really been this Urban Decay 24/7 like glide on gel pencil. I think it's really, really good. And so I'm actually going to use that with this little brow drawer. Sometimes I use it for my brows. Oh, I do need to sharpen this too. So I'm going to try and keep it as close as possible. And then just draw it out. It's not black enough. Okay. Lesson learned. I'm going to try with this Chucky Glamlite eyeliner pen. It has a very small tip. Okay, yeah, this is the black that I wanted. Oh, because my lashes always get in the way. Oh, it feels so weird. Oh my gosh. The only thing is I feel like it dries out pretty quickly and that bothers me. Yeah, I just made the whole look so much bigger than it needed to be. Oh my, I instantly started watering. Oh my gosh. Man, this e.l.f. glitter just, on camera, it's like not that bad, but in person, it is absolutely awful and I hate it. I really hate it. I should have definitely gone with more of a grayed out look, because now you can't really see my eyeliner unless I'm like up close and personal. This is a Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes. It's almost out, so I'd like to make it empty soon. And my eyeliner doesn't match. Kind of, but not really. And I just feel like for it to be a black, it's not getting deep enough. Like, yes, I've been blending in certain spots. I'm gonna have to go over to blend those together. Just to blend that into the eyeliner. And it's definitely my fault because my eyeliner skills are not that great. There we go, blend them into each other. My eye shapes aren't exactly the same. Yeah, I could have tried to do my eyeliner like hers, but because my eyeshadow goes up so high, like way higher, it wouldn't have looked good. Okay, and then the last thing I am gonna do is my lip combo that I wanted to try. Okay, this is my 3CE Velvet Lip Tint in Private. I think I actually want to also add maybe a little bit of black. And then I am actually just going to top this with the lip oil. I usually wear the lip oil alone, but I just want to see what it would look like. And I will use some setting spray. I don't have a go-to, but Urban Decay All Nighter is still very, very solid. And then I have the NYX Matte Finish. It's kind of mid. I'll use the NYX one. Okay, next we are just going to do mascara and some lashes, and that should be it. Okay, so first, here's my lash book. I've got, you know, different assortment of lashes. It didn't really look like she had on lashes, but if she did, they looked a bit more natural. So I am going to take the one that's like the least thick. I'm gonna try these ones right here. Bear with me, I have not put on lashes in a while, so I'm very much rusty dusty right now. But we will try. I will try. I'm using my Kiss Strip Lash adhesive with aloe. It's in clear. Oh yeah, these ones have a really thin, see, yeah, they're like super thin, which is why I didn't wear them anyway whenever I did put on lashes, because they were actually kind of hard to place, but we'll try. Oh my gosh, that was actually super difficult. So that's what these are looking like, and I'm going to follow up with a little bit of mascara. Okay, this is with some mascara on. Now let's try to do the other eye. Oh boy. Wow, I'm actually shocked because that was probably the easiest time I've ever had putting on lashes at all, especially ones that have such thin like bands. Whoa. That was an easy experience, surprisingly. We're going to follow up again with some mascara. First, I'm going to zoom you in. This is the final look. It is a far cry from the material, from the reference. But I mean, for a first try, I would give it like a 4 out of 10. But I do like my lip. But this is the final look. And then I'm going to zoom you out so you can see like the whole entourage, which is of course me in my Naruto hoodie and the wig of choice today. I only have like 2. But yeah, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much if you did stick around for this kind of chaotic tutorial. I really appreciate you guys. If you would like me to try out another Pinterest look or a tutorial type video, just let me know down in the comments. I am more than willing to play in my makeup so that I can give you guys a tutorial. I do have another video coming out very soon to celebrate my 100 sub. It is going to be a game review and I'm really excited for it. So please stay tuned, drink some water, and have a wonderful day. Bye!